How's it going, guys? Vaibhav here, and welcome to a video talking about the Sony DualSense 5 controller. And before you say you hear anything in the background, there is a lot of construction going around near my house, and it just happens to start when I start recording these videos, so I guess you'll just have to live with it. But let's get into the Sony DualSense 5. I've made a video about the controller probably 2 months back, talking about how good of an upgrade it is from the PlayStation 4 controller when it comes to form factor, when it comes to vibration motors, when it comes to all of the features that the PlayStation 5 packs with the DualSense 5. If you want more information about that, make sure you check that video out. But in today's video, I want to talk about something that's more recent about the controller, something that's gotten the PlayStation 5 in some controversy. With the lucky few owners all around the world now having gotten a PlayStation 5 and using it for probably 3 months or so, it looks like people are facing problems with the DualSense 5, and there's been a lawsuit filed against Sony for the DualSense 5 having a problem that Sony didn't address before releasing the console. And the problem in question is about controller drag or thumbstick drag. And this is not particularly new when it comes to consoles. It's been seen in the past with, I think, the Nintendo series of consoles primarily. And there's also been instances reported in the PlayStation 4. And this is just off the brief research I did when I heard about this lawsuit being filed. I watched the video, and the video was sent to me by one of my friends. And I didn't particularly have issues with the PlayStation 5 controller when it came to that. The only issue I have is the white color attracting too much dirt over prolonged use, and that's why I want a darker color variant. But other than that, I didn't really notice anything when it came to using the controller, or let's say having issues when it comes to gaming or positioning yourselves when in a certain game. But of course, to test out the extent of this issue, I went ahead and opened up a few games on my PlayStation 5 just to see if this controller had the issue that the lawsuit was talking about. So I opened up Rocket League, and what I did was I played Rocket League for about 10 minutes without touching the thumbstick of the controller. So I didn't touch the thumbstick at all, which changed the direction of the car in question, and I just accelerated and then reversed and used the boost without touching the ball. And I was in training mode, so I didn't have any external factors affecting the car's motion, and that way we could really judge if there was an issue with this thumbstick drift that people are talking about. And sure enough, there wasn't any issue even after playing for 15 minutes. So I was using boost constantly, making the controller vibrate a lot. Maybe perhaps that way the issue would be persistent, but that didn't happen. I also tested this out with Destruction All-Stars, which is a new PlayStation Plus exclusive for this month. And once again, I couldn't really see any issues with it, and you'll be able to see the footage that I have recorded on screen for your reference as well. Now, when I didn't face the issue, I thought I'd take it one step further and place my thumb on the controller's thumbstick, because I feel like when I play, I don't usually have my thumb resting on the thumbstick, but for a lot of the other people out there, their natural position to hold the controller and place their thumb is something like this, and perhaps this way you could see some drift action. So once again, I fired up Rocket League and put my thumb on the thumbstick this time without putting too much pressure on it moving. So basically my thumb was moving ever so slightly just to see if that slight movement in the thumbstick would induce some sort of drag, and sure enough, it did happen. So I think the drift issue really comes into play if you place your thumb on the thumbstick and move it ever so slightly. And I'm talking like very, very minuscule movements that you can't even feel, but the controller recognizes and then relays that off into the game, which could impact experience in some way. Let's say you're a professional gamer, for example, and you value this precision, let's say in an FPS title like Call of Duty Warzone, for example, when you're aiming, that could be an issue. Those small movements, those small jitters when it comes to aiming and aiming down sights or locating your enemies, that could make a huge difference when it accumulates over the longer period of time. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, this is a very minor issue. So this is just my opinion. I haven't really faced any sort of drastic drift issues as you saw. And to be honest, I dismiss this. I don't think a full-blown lawsuit is the right way to go, but being a general consumer, being someone who likes to game in their free time, and having access to consoles like these, I think a lawsuit and Sony addressing this is best for everyone who owns this controller, who owns this console, because at the end of the day, people have paid their hard-earned money to buy this, and if Sony knew about this issue before actually releasing the PlayStation 5, this is a mistake on Sony, and to be honest, they released the PlayStation 5 perhaps knowing that the issue was there because they couldn't fix it. So I don't know what direction this will take in the future. I'm waiting to see what Sony has to say about this and how it responds. I remember when Sony had made a mistake of keeping the PlayStation Network servers down about 10 years ago in 2011. They were down for about 2 months and no one could access online services. Sony were kind enough to recompensate that lost gaming time by giving individuals free games. So I happen to have 2 free games off of that, and perhaps Sony could do something similar, or maybe only a certain few models of the controller units out there face this issue. Nonetheless, I do want to see how this story develops, but I thought I'd make this video just showing you guys a brief example of what controller drift may look like or what it may not look like. Please let me know what your experience with the PlayStation 5 console and its controller has been like. Have you noticed this issue on a growing basis? Have you not noticed it at all like myself? Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're at it, make sure you like and subscribe to see more of my content. Thanks for watching. This was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.